Hello, everybody. How are you doing? It's a beautiful wintry day here in County Clare. Bit of rain, bit of wind, little bits of sunshine now and then. Hope you all are well. I appreciate you taking some time to join in here on a Sunday afternoon. I'm glad to have you here. Just a quick note to say hello to some of the folks who are commenting already. Hi, Louise. Hello, Donna and Irene. Let me answer your question at the end of when we get through the broadcast here. Yeah, well, I hope things are going well wherever you are. I know the weather's been starting to set in some places. Lots of stormy weather, crazy things going on. Hi, Tina. Hey, Tina, have the fires gone out there in Colorado? I hope they've come under control. Love to know. Great. Well, today I'm going to do things a little bit differently, and I'm going to be sharing images, and hopefully I'll be able to talk over them and tell you a little bit about them. We'll be able to discuss things rather than just doing a pre-recorded video. So we've had some nice, we did have some somewhat nice weather recently, and my cousin and I were able to get out. We had to do some essential business in and around Kilrush, so we stopped a couple of places, and I got to take in a lot of the autumn weather, autumn colors, and found a really cool old arched bridge that I'm going to be telling you about too. So we'll get started with that in just a couple of minutes. Hello, Irene from Finland, and Mindy Robb from Summerville, South Carolina. Hi, Edward. How are you doing? There's Socorro. Socorro, you're in Indiana, but you live in Mexico City. There's Peggy from Erin, Tennessee. Tina says the forest fires in Colorado are 92% contained, so that's really good to know. I'm glad to hear that. Hello, Anna from Burnley, Lancashire. And there's my buddy Pamela. And she says, oh, this is a good one. She says she's had a lot of damage to clean up from Hurricane Eta. So, oh, great. You got your photo. I'm glad you received the print, Pam. Good stuff. Great. Hello, Margaret. Glad to have you with us. Well, look, I'm going to go ahead and get started with my little presentation. Probably maybe 10 minutes, and then we'll go in and do some talking, okay? And you can tell me what's on your mind, and we'll make everything better, okay? But look, I want to add a little disclaimer here. I am not a historian. I have not studied history heavily. I do my research. I go to sources and find tidbits of information. Some may be correct, some may not. Hopefully, I'm better than 90% correct. So if anybody's watching and you know more about something than I do, than I mentioned here, please don't hesitate to mention in the comments so we can make this a community affair. Okay, great. So I'm going to start with a little presentation about a bridge that I encountered recently called the Blackweir Bridge. Now, this bridge is really interesting. It was built in 1790, between 1790 and 1810, and it crosses the headlands of Polnasherry Bay here, which is between kind of Kilrush and Loop Head. It's a fascinating place, lots of interesting history. But the bridge, I don't know if you can see my cursor moving around here, but the bridge is right up here. And the bay goes out here. Here's Moyasta Point. And this is all Loophead Peninsula over here on this side going out. There's an old railway that goes through here on both sides. It's not running anymore, of course. But yeah, and Kilrush would be way down on this side. So here is the bridge. And it's really a lovely design. It's got 5 arches, and here in the background, this is Polnasherry Bay. Now, Polnasherry, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, is taken from Gaelic, which means oyster hollow. So the bay is actually a designated shellfish ground, designated by the European Commission. The history here that's so interesting is that this area, you can see all of this bogland around here. And the bogland, whenever there's a bog, there's turf digging. These are all tidal flats. Turf harvesting was big business in West Clare back in the 1800s. And this area used to have 20 turf boats that served it. The turf boats would come up and load up with turf and then take the turf out to larger ships waiting out in the bay. Now, these turf boats, they're known locally as turf cots, measured about 14 feet wide and about 30 feet long. And they were specifically designed to handle all of the mud and the shallow waters here in the bay. And they were manned by 2 boatmen, and they were powered by the 2 boatmen with long oars. And yeah, anyway, what happened is trucks moved in and were able to start carrying the turf as ground transportation improved. So the need for using turf boats on the waterway changed, and eventually they became essentially extinct. Here's another image. This is looking the other direction as this tideland goes back into Loophead Peninsula. Now, this area, you would find the village of Dunaha out here in the distance, and then on beyond that would be Carrigaholt. But you can see how the tideland kind of stretches all through here. It would be interesting to see at very high tide, definitely. Now, here's another shot, just an aerial image showing the tidelands and some of the vegetation on the side. There's supposed to be a lot of wildlife in this area. I didn't see much when I was there, but it was definitely the place for wild geese to winter over, and that sort of thing. Here's another shot of the bridge from the other side, looking out toward West Clare and Loop Head. Just love the architecture. It's really quite amazing. And to think that this was built over 200 years ago, and still standing. I assume it's had some maintenance, but essentially it's definitely a sturdy bridge. Let's see, here's another image of the tidelands. This is actually a fairly close-up image to the ground, but you can see the way there are the little channels cut in by the waters. And here is an image of the tidelands, and then looking out at Pulnasheri Bay. Now, there was a very sad event that occurred here back in December of 1849 when a ferry sunk. Now, there used to be a ferry that ran across here, across the opening to the bay. That's the Shannon Estuary beyond. And right here is a point called Camogue Point or Camogie Point. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. But 41 people died when a ferry sunk there. And this really sad part of the story is that these people had just gone into Kilrush to the workhouse. Now, keep in mind that this was during famine years. So 1849 would have been toward the end of the famine of the mid-1800s. People had gone to the workhouse to seek refuge. They had no homes, no food. They needed some sort of refuge. They were turned away by the workhouse, presumably because the workhouse was full up. For those who don't know, workhouses were established by the British landlords and the large landowners as a way of getting people who couldn't pay their rent out of their homes and out of their hair. The landlords supported the workhouses, and they were not pretty places. If families went into workhouses, families were separated. Anyway, it's definitely a sad story. But now we have this beautiful area that generates a lot of oysters and seafood, and you can see it's quite beautiful. Yeah. So that is Blackweir. Can you tell me if you heard me talking over the slides, please? I can't tell, and I just want to make sure that that this is working before I go on to the next presentation, which is much happier and quite beautiful about the area of Killimer on the Shannon Estuary. Let me just drop back in and say hello to a couple of people. There's Colleen from Twin Lakes, Wisconsin, Barbara from Michigan, and Liz from Reading, Pennsylvania. Hello, Martin. And we have Gail from Memphis, Tennessee, and Colleen. Oh, Colleen, she just received her print this week, and she loves it. That's good to hear. And there's Shirley. Hello, Shirley. Oh, great, Pam. Thanks for letting me know, and Gail too, and Anya. Excellent. Coming in loud and clear, Donna says. Well, good. It's nice to know that the technology is working the way it's supposed to now. So good. Now, this next series of photos, you probably saw the image that I posted yesterday of the fall colors around Killimer. I fully expected the fall colors to be pretty much gone by now. So I was really surprised when we rounded a point and we came on to this area that was just blasting with oranges and yellows and reds. It was really stunning. So of course I got out. My cousins used to me saying, "Stop, stop," and I got to get some photos, and then I got to thinking about the area there and how interesting it is. So I wanted to mention a few things about it. Let me go back to screen sharing here, and I'll show you. Um, Whoops, wrong one. Here we go. Now, this is what we saw going around the corner. And to me, this is absolutely amazing. It's beautiful. It really embodies what autumn is like. Um, I just, well, I'm speechless when I see this and seeing the stone wall curling around here. Now, I don't know the history of this particular area. I believe it was a former estate. There's a big gate there, but the trees are really spectacular, just amazing. So um, there's another blast of the color there. Isn't this incredible? uh, yeah. So this is Kilimer. This is an absolutely lovely little village. Many of you, if you've been over here, you may have taken the ferry. This is the ferry here that goes from Kilimer to Tarbert on the other side in County Clare. The area has about 500 people, 500 inhabitants right now. Before the famine, as in most places in County Clare, it had a much larger population of more than 3,000 people. Um, Everybody always asks me, how can someone leave such a beautiful area? Well, if the economics aren't right, if you can't support your family, if you can't get work, people have to go someplace else to find it. And that's what most of the people had to do. That's why there are so many Irish in the States, in Australia, in the UK, Canada. Um, yeah, there were an estimated, 80 million Irish out in the world. And the island here only has a population of 5 or 6 million. So you can see that we've really spread out. Here's another image. This is a panoramic image of um, the Killimer area. Whoops, sorry about that. Yeah, you can see the Shannon Estuary. This area now, this road is now designated as the Shannon Estuary Way, as an extension to the Wild Atlantic Way. And a lot of the villages along the way are starting to prepare for tourism and visits. It's really a wonderful, wonderful area. Killimer itself has a fascinating graveyard called the Old Boraine Graveyard, and it's got these old slabs um, that acted as gravestones, and many of them are inscribed. There's the old church here, and it overlooks the Shannon River. But it's quite a unique place. Graveyards are fascinating places to explore. Many times there are epitaphs on the gravestones that give a little insight into people's lives, and it's quite interesting. Yeah, so let's get back to some pretty pictures, huh? Here is while I was shooting a photograph of these autumn colors from a drone, the on-post delivery man, that's our mailman, was driving through this road to the home at the end of the road. So I thought that was kind of a neat capture. I love seeing the greens. Of course, Ireland is perpetually green, but these trees add such a beautiful contrast to the image. And yeah, it's a different kind of a view. Anyway, here's the road that goes out. Again, I don't know anything about the history of this particular estate. I'm sorry if anyone knows. Please mention it in the comments. It certainly looks like a lovely piece of land. And here's the Shannon Estuary. So great. I'm back. Well, what'd you think? Did you enjoy that? I don't know. I kind of like being able to tell you about it and talk about it rather than having a pre-recorded video going. Yeah. Hello, Lori from Rescue, California. There's Maureen from Arizona. Thank you, Maureen. And Beth says she heard me fine. There's Becky from Phoenix. I spent a year in Phoenix back in the 90s. No, early 2000s. Yeah. And Sherry from Little Canada, Minnesota. And there's Mission, Texas, Sue. Hi, Pam. And Tina. Yeah, Tina, fall is a beautiful time of the year. It's interesting. Tina says she'd like to walk through all those leaves. And somebody had made a comment on the photo that I posted that, oh, I want to go running through those leaves and feel them crunching under my feet. Yeah. And Tina also says she loves exploring graveyards. Now, I have a friend from Alaska who comes to Ireland regularly, and she almost lives in the graveyards. She does rubbings of the gravestones and searches out family histories. It's really fascinating. I miss my friends, Dave and Betty, in Alaska right now. I'd like to see them come back again soon. Let's see. Hi, Maureen. I'm glad you enjoy that. And Hannah says, so beautiful, the nature. Yeah, it is. You know how I feel about Ireland and the beauty here. Having been a former journalist and someone whose job it was to tell you how miserable the world is, I much prefer what I do now. It doesn't pay as well, but it's much more satisfying to be able to share the beauty that's all around us. Hello, Trish from Orlando. Yeah, Ireland's a great place. Let's see, how many people agree with Trish here? I'll bet pretty much everyone here. So, you guys have any questions? What's on your mind? How are things going in your neck of the woods? Love to hear from you. Starting to get a bit chilly here. Starting to burn fires a little more. But, you know, one of the things that I enjoy here, and I've mentioned it any number of times, is the aroma of turf in the evenings and in the mornings. It's just incredible. Yeah. Let's see. Tina asked me, what drove me to move and live in Ireland? Well, Tina, I moved here because I could. I became an Irish citizen in 2004. Because of my grandmother. My grandmother was born here, and my great-grandfather. I visited Ireland for the first time in 2006. And in 2007, I came back for a 2-month vacation and didn't want to leave. Fair warning to anybody who's planning on coming over. Chances are you won't want to leave either. But I was in the position that I could just pick up everything. I was living in Miami at the time and move on over. So, yeah. That's what it's all about. Let's see. Kathleen says, I love the picture behind me of the castle windows. Oh, okay. Let's see. That one. Yeah. That's a special edition print. Um, it's a Giclée print. It's a 12 color, 12 ink printing process. And you can find them on my store. I really like it. It's a very special image. I'm very happy with how it came out. That Doors and Windows collection has been really special to me, and hopefully I'll have a lot more to come there. So Colleen says she's been here numerous times. Mindy and Rob say they love Ireland as well and can't wait to travel here again. Betty Connor, no, Anya. My friends are Dave and Betty Odell. But hi to Betty Connor as well. Trish asks, how often do I travel to take pics? Trish, not near enough. Right now, with the pandemic restrictions, I'm going out of the house maybe one day a week. And that's not near as much as I like. When the weather's good and when there are no restrictions, I like to get out and hike around and just explore. I can go back to the same place that I've been maybe 10 times and still find something new and something different. You know, the lighting will be different, the colors will be different. I just love getting out and exploring. Thank you for asking. And Tina, whoops. Sorry, the messages are flashing by me here quickly. Oh, let's see. Tina asks, my favorite aroma is the peat turf fires. Yeah, they're great. Anytime you're in a village, you'll smell that aroma in the evenings or the early mornings, especially here. Yeah, it's such a sweet aroma. And let's see. Donna asks, are the stone walls made of sandstone? No, Donna, most of them are made of limestone. And they're made of limestone because Ireland is basically a big limestone rock geologically. And many of the stone walls are made from rocks that are retrieved from farm fields. Farmers have had to clear a lot of rocks in order to have pasture that they can grow grass and farm in. So, yeah. Now there are exceptions. For instance, the Rock of Cashel, the old Cormac's Chapel, I believe it's called. May be mistaken. At Rock of Cashel was made of sandstone, which was a horrible idea because sandstone is very porous and moisture gets in. They've recently done a lot of renovation there to help prevent that. But yeah, sandstone was a bad idea. Apparently, the reason they made it from sandstone was because they wanted it to be bright and stand out from the rest of the structures. So, yeah. And Trish says, I love how you capture the natural lighting. Yeah, I do. I work with natural lighting pretty much all the time, unless I'm dealing with people, which I don't. I don't photograph humans a lot. I prefer nature much more than people. But yeah, natural lighting is usually the way to go. Let's see. Donna asks, all your photographic prints. Oh, it's not a question, it's a compliment. Thank you, Donna. Yeah. Yeah, so Susan asks, I have a hard time getting to your chat on time. Missed the video, but we'll look to it later. Yeah, there's always a replay, a recording. Facebook automatically records it, and you can always go back and take a look. But of course, it's always nice having you here as well. Yeah. So, yeah, we shared some autumn scenes and some other scenes. So Pam, why angry? What are you angry about? Tell us. Don't I have close relatives who are or were citizens of Ireland? Yeah, my grandmother was born here. I became an Irish citizen under the Foreign Birth Registration Act, um, which allows me to become a citizen based on my grandmother's Irish citizenship. For people who don't have the Irish connections, yes, they have to be. There are all kinds of restrictions. I don't even know what they are, but at one point, and it may still be the case, that you had to prove €100,000 a year income for each member of your family, which is, I mean, ridiculous. But I don't set the policies. The place to look, though, for information, let me see if I can go ahead and add that link. Oh, I don't have it. Sorry. Go to the website citizensinformation.ie, and that gives all of the details about citizenship requirements. You can come to Ireland, and if you're working, if you establish a business, sometimes there are accommodations that can be made that way. Thanks, Tina, for confirming that I was right about Cormac's Chapel. Yeah. Let's see. Trish asks, where is the website to purchase prints? Well, I didn't pay her to ask. I promise. It is moodsofireland.com. Moodsofireland.com. Yeah. And I own that shop. So if you have any problems with anybody there or any issues, you come to me. I will straighten it out. Yeah. Oh, by the way, I just posted yesterday my new 2021 This is Kildysart wall calendar. Now, this is a wall calendar that I sell, that I created, and it sells locally here through the shops as well as online. And the benefits, the proceeds of the sales go to help out our local Tidy Towns group. So when you buy a Kildysart calendar, you'll also be helping out the Tidy Towns group. They're the people who keep the village beautiful. They pay for and plant flowers and clean up and such. So, yeah. And also, if you're not already a subscriber to my newsletter, I call it my clan newsletter because we're kind of like a big family here. Anyway, you sign up for my clan newsletter, you'll get notices about these Facebook Lives, you'll get notices about special sales and periodic newsletters. And there's a coupon when you sign up where you can get a discount through the store as well. Yeah, so yeah, Lynn, this is something that's been tough for a lot of people this year. And I have to say, it's been very difficult for people locally as well, because here in County Clare, we really rely on the tourist business. Tourism is such a big part of livelihood here. And so without people coming, it's been hard on this end as well. But, you know, it's going to get better. And hopefully in the coming year, we'll all be able to dance a jig again. Huh? So, do I prefer morning light or evening light? Well, I'm an early riser. I get up very early in the morning, so I tend to like morning light just by the fact that I'm up early. Um, Late afternoon, evening light is nice as well, but morning light is special to me. But again, it also depends on the location because your morning light's going to be coming from the east, and your evening light's going to be coming more from the west. So you can get some different moods and different compositions based on the direction of the light. So Pam says chainsaws scare me. Well, no chainsaws here at the moment. Oh, okay. Pam clarifies. No, not angry. She's just angry about the restrictions. Yeah, I agree with you here. It's really difficult. It's hard to know what's the right approach, but we have so many elderly folks here that we just have to be so careful about not making the situation worse. Oh, well, thank you, Patty. Appreciate it. I really do. Yeah, you guys, it really means a lot to me when I see your comments. And I mean, it really touches me when people tell me that my work made them feel better or gave them a different outlook or somehow touched their soul. And that's, to me, that's what successful art is all about. Forget about money or any of that stuff. It's when you can reach people on that deep gut level, and it maybe makes their day a little bit better or brings a smile. That's cool. That's great. So thank you, Patty. Oh, Margaret asked, do I have any plans for a Ballina-Cali calendar? Not this year, maybe sometime in the future. We'll see. It really depends. We'll just see what transpires. I get a lot of great photographs around Ballina-Cali. The Tidy Towns group there is fantastic. It's a wonderful group of volunteers, and they do just an incredible job keeping the village nice and clean. So stay tuned. Pam says, one can purchase Irish peat. Yeah, you can. If you go to Amazon and just search for Irish peat incense, you can find a variety of little offerings. They have one with a little ceramic cottage for the burner, and you put the incense inside. So for anybody who's missing that, please, consider that. That'll give you a nice feel for Ireland. Let's see. Eileen says, oh, thank you, Eileen. County Clare is a beautiful place indeed. Oh, Newtown Castle is a really neat place. I really like it there. For those of you who don't know, Newtown Castle is kind of the centerpiece for the Burren College of Art. And it's a cylindrical castle with a pyramidal base. And it's been restored, and the art school uses it for displays. It's a lovely place. And yes, let's hope travel can be open again by then. Absolutely, Eileen. We'll keep our fingers crossed for you. Beth says, love my post. Keep me dreaming of visiting Ireland someday. Well, as I like to tell people, a dream is one step away from reality. So keep dreaming. You're close. Oh, we'll be winding up here in a minute. I just want to go through and make sure I get to as many comments as possible here. 3 months in Galway next summer, COVID permitting. Oh yeah, Galway is a wonderful place too. So much to do around town there. Your third trip to Ireland. Oh, great. What is the one must-see place? Well, it's hard to say what would be a single must-see place, but what I tell everyone is the real Ireland is out in the countryside, not in the big cities, not in Dublin. I mean, the Dublin vibe is completely different than being out in the Irish countryside. You'll get to experience real nice, genuine people. I'm not saying there aren't nice people in Dublin as well, but Dublin's a big city, you know, millions of people there. You want to come out to the countryside and look around, and pretty much any village you go to, you're going to find uniqueness and soul. And so pick places that are off the beaten path. That's my advice to people. Great. Well, it's my pleasure, Valerie. Thank you for your comment. And hello to Joan from Pennsylvania. So that wraps up this week's Sunday afternoon chat. quite a unique name I dreamed up there, huh? Maybe we'll have to have a little contest for coming up with a different name for this presentation. But look, again, I sincerely appreciate you spending some time with me this Sunday afternoon. You know, I live alone too, so it can get a little lonely sometimes. Fortunately, I'm in touch with my son usually twice a day via Facebook, FaceTime. But you know, it's always nice to do a little back and forth here as well. So, folks, thank you again, and have a great week. And remember, see beauty everywhere. Okay, bye now.